Welcome, everybody. It's time to start. Before I do, let me welcome everybody. That one kid, welcome. Hot Dog, welcome. Austin Nance, welcome. Tanner Levasseur, welcome. Arla Connie, welcome. Austin, I already said Austin. Let's see. Jonathan Johnson, welcome. Project 94, welcome. Mark Forget, welcome. Who else? I think we got everybody. Oh, Juice Tan, welcome. Hunter, welcome. Project 94, Viper 199, welcome. Douglas Lintz, welcome. Uh, okay, so let's go back. We're gonna go through some of the comments before I get to my thoughts on the race. Uh, I want to address something about the video I released concerning the truck race and the way things are going in NASCAR with drivers not respecting each other. A lot of these uh, guys that are really young, and how there's no real leadership, veteran leadership. Uh, a couple of people, I would say actually more than a couple, mentioned to me because I said that Kevin Harvick was all talk. That when Chase Elliott basically not only ruined his chance to win at Bristol, but he altered the course of the race. And I said, he didn't do anything. And a bunch of you guys came out and said, oh, well, he took him out. Don't you remember at the Roval? Yeah, I do remember. I remember when he tried to take Elliott out, and he actually did more damage to himself than he did to Elliott. But I'm actually surprised that you guys would bring that up because you're missing my point. My whole point was that Harvick didn't actually do anything to him. And I'm talking about face to face. I'm not talking about wrecking people. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you should know by now that I don't support these drivers wrecking people with their race cars. I don't support them ruining the race for other people by doing dumb shit behind the wheel. I've always said I want to see these guys handle it off the track. So I'm actually surprised that you guys brought that up. Yeah, I remember he tried to wreck him at the Roval. That is entirely missing my point. So I'm actually surprised. I'm only bringing it up to correct people. I know what he did, and my whole point was he didn't actually do anything face to face with Chase Elliott. Now, he spoke to him, and we remember how he mentioned that Chase Elliott reminded him of his son, right? So he should have bitch slapped him like he was his son. That's what he should have been. He should have done something, right? That was my whole point. So I'm only bringing that up because I'm actually surprised that people have brought that up. And I'm just saying, I appreciate that you brought it up, but that wasn't the point. The point is not to do those things. So I'm actually surprised that people missed the whole point of the video. I don't want to see these guys out there wrecking each other, ruining the race for other people, altering the course of a race. NASCAR didn't do anything about to Chase Elliott, and Kevin Harvick didn't do what I thought he should have done. He tried to wreck him at the Roval, really ended up wrecking himself, and who walked away with more damage? It was Kevin Harvick, and people made fun of him. They ridiculed him for what he did. So he didn't come away looking good after that. So just wanted to point that out, get that out the way. I appreciate you guys bringing that up, but that's my point. You guys missed the whole point of that video. Some of you. Um, I want to see more leadership. I want people to actually confront these guys that drive like idiots, mostly the younger drivers, and let them know this isn't going to be tolerated. I don't want to see a fucking wreck fest out there and the outcome of a race being completely altered by the decisions of some idiot. So I've always been against that. And if you've been watching me for any length of time, you should know that by now. So uh, that's all I wanted to mention. So um, before I get to the comments, I'm gonna let you know right off the bat, what did I think of the race? For the most part, it was a 7 out of 10 for me, which was average. And average, as I've said in the past, I'm okay with that once in a while. I don't expect every race to be the greatest fucking race ever. I'm a sports fan first. So I know sports are up and down. You're not going to get the greatest fucking game. I mean, just watch an NFL weekend of football. There's going to be a couple of really good games, and there's going to be a couple of games that are just forgettable. That's sports. So to expect every race to have a fucking nail biting finish and a great, just awesome racing from beginning to end, that is not going to happen every week. I'm okay with that. That being said, there are people saying that it was a bad race. I think these people are part of this short attention span group. I thought the race was actually decent. I didn't, like I said, the first half of the race, I felt it was average. And like I said, I was okay with that. But as the race kept going from the second half on to the end, it got better and better. It actually, at the end, it went from a 7.5, a 7 out of 10 to a 7.5. Um, the ending of the race was really good. It was exciting. Um, there was a lot of drama. You had Ryan Blaney doing everything in his power to throw away a championship, in my opinion, doing really boneheaded shit, trying to take the lead and win. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, that's what I want. But to me, you have to be smarter. You have to know what the fuck's going on. You have a championship within your grasp. He had the best car all day. Um, the best car probably didn't win, but Chastain did have a good car. But you cannot throw away a championship because you're upset that you can't pass a guy. It's hard to pass at Phoenix. It's always been hard to pass, but I think what we saw today is that even though it's hard to pass, it could still put on a good show. We did see passing. There were several leaders throughout the race. Um, yeah, it shouldn't be super easy to pass either. I don't understand where people get this idea like if you can't pass a guy within 4 laps or 5 laps, that it's bad racing. Um, I don't get it. Like I said, it's this short attention span fan base. Um, but I was like ready to punch the TV because I couldn't believe how upset Blaney was getting that he couldn't pass Chastain, and he tried to fucking move Chastain by ramming his fucking bumper. I honestly, I think he lost a few points from me for that. Like, you're making me defend a driver. I don't like Ross Chastain, and I've criticized him in the past, but he did nothing wrong today. He fucking raced for a win. There is nowhere where there's a that it should be expected that people are just going to bow down to you and just let you pass. Um, and I've seen this many times from Blaney in the past. Like, um, he gets mad on the track for shit for nothing. Like, a guy is just racing him hard. Like, there's a difference between racing somebody hard and dirty. Ross Chastain did nothing wrong today. And he proved he can win without doing boneheaded shit. And it's funny that we're sitting here now. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm defending Ross Chastain and somebody doing to him what he was known for doing. Um so he did nothing wrong. And even the announcers, and I'm glad they did a good job of talking about it, they said they don't understand what Blaney's mad about. And not long after that, he's just ramming in the back of Chastain trying to move him. He almost wrecked him. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? If I was Roger Penske, I'd be screaming in the radio, what the fuck are you doing? And not only that, he actually was lucky that the caution came out not long after that, because even though he ended up falling back from where he was, he drove the tires off of that car. And I really think if it had gone green the whole way, he was going to drift back. And I don't know if he would have won the championship, because he was driving so hard trying to pass Chastain. He drove the tires off the car. That's not smart. When you have a championship within your grasp, he was leading. He had a 4-second lead from Larson and Byron, and nobody's on the radio telling him, "What are you doing? Back down. Just stay with Chastain. We got a lot of laps. Stay with him. Don't make a mistake in the corner. Don't overdrive don't fucking drive the tires off of the car. This might go green to the end. You better have something or you're going to fall off. These guys are going to catch you and pass you." So I couldn't believe it, but I will say this, it added a whole new level of drama to the race. So you had the drama of Blaney doing everything in his power to throw away a championship. He had the fastest car of the day. Then you had guys like Truex come back in the picture, and who else? The 17 car. Um, so there was drama. There was a lot of good racing towards the more we got closer to the end of the race, it got really good. So I really thought the race was above average by the end. So yeah, I gave at the end of it, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's nothing amazing, but the people I see talking about that this was a bad race, they're full of shit or they're short attention span viewers, in my opinion. We saw good long green flag runs, and yeah, it was hard to pass. I don't understand where people got this idea that you got to see a pass every fucking corner. Um, I thought it was good, more than good. Um, and for Phoenix, it was way better than I was anticipating. I was anticipating a real shit show, and it turned out to be much better than I thought going in. So I don't expect anybody to say it was great, but man, this race had drama. It had and like I said, there was really good racing towards the end. And I honestly thought Blaney almost was going to lose this championship. You had Larson pass him at the restart. Uh, Everybody was still in the mix except for Bell, who had brake failure early in the race. This turned out to be I walk away from this satisfied. Like it was a good championship race. I don't really know what more you can ask for, especially considering it's fucking Phoenix. I still think that they need to either rotate the last race or go back to Homestead or something. Again, you shouldn't. It should not come down to one race. We've talked about all this. I'm not going to hash that out again. But for what it is, for what we have, with all of its flaws, this was the best outcome of this championship race at Phoenix. I really don't know if you could expect more. We got plenty. I don't. That's my opinion. So I'm going to start reading the comments and we'll see what you guys think. I'm sure a lot of you are going to disagree. Well, we'll see. So let's see. The one kid screaming, "Hell yeah!" Let's go. Okay, I guess you're a Ryan Blaney fan. Congrats. Hot Dog says Melon Smash, representing Florida, raced clean and hard today. Yeah. Um, I don't like Ross Chastain, but he raced clean and he raced hard. What I gotta know what the fuck Blaney was thinking. And he's giving him the finger and he's mad. I'm like, what are you fucking you really think he's just gonna move out of the way and let you take the lead? What is he thinking? So you're making me defend a guy I don't like. And yes, he raced clean and he raced hard today. Gotta give him credit. Well deserved. Blaney's really fortunate. He did have the fastest car and he was able to race his way back up to second and hold on for a championship. Because, man, let me tell you, he hit Chastain so hard in the bumper, he could have done nose damage to his car. What if he fucking ruined the nose and then the car went stupid tight for the end of the race? He would have thrown away a championship. So, he deserves the championship. He had the best car and he really fucking he stepped up in the championship at the right time and you cannot take anything away from him. But man, I will tell you, if I was a Ryan Blaney fan, I would lose whatever hair I had left. Um, yeah. Austin, hey, what's up? Hello. Tanner Levasseur, that was definitely the best Phoenix race in the next gen thus far. Oh, absolutely. Uh, Phoenix, and with this car, that was the best race. And I'm an old school race fan. I don't mind watching a guy battle for 20 laps to make one pass. That doesn't bother me. Um, there's this thing that people are screaming about arrow push, arrow push, arrow. Let me tell you something. Arrow push is not new. Arrow push has been around since the beginning of time. The difference is the more aerodynamic the cars have become through the generations, aero has become worse because the more aerodynamic you make these cars, then that tiny bit of difference sticks out more. If you go back to the 70s, the cars were all shaped like fucking bricks. There wasn't any aero. In fact, the first real aero came with that Superbird, that Daytona car from Dodge and Plymouth, and they actually outlawed that wing car, right? Um, that's really when people woke up like, oh shit, look what these manufacturers are doing. This is a huge difference. And as time went on, the cars got more and more and more. And then that's where we lost that stock car recognition. These cars all started having a similar shape, becoming less recognizable, but aerodynamics played a bigger and bigger role. Then aero push and things, these issues became more noticeable, right? But I'm just tired of people complaining about it. Um, yes, there's room for improvement. I'm right there with you, but this is as good of a race as you could expect at a track like Phoenix. I enjoyed it. Let me get back to my spot. Hot dog. Phoenix put on a good race finally. Agreed. Austin, Ryan freaking Blaney. Yeah, man. I knew by the first third of the race, I said he's got the best car. The question is he gonna do something? Like he's been known before. He's always been fast, but for some reason he would always they would always lose at the end of a race. They would lose the handle on the car or something would happen. That's what Ryan Blaney was known for. But this year, at the right time, they stepped up their game as a team, and he's on another level now. So you couldn't ask for a better time to step up your game. And yeah, they proved, he proved what he can do, and he deserves the championship. He came and he took it. Uh, so congrats to him, man, and his fans. But I'm not a fan of, but I don't dislike him. Like I kind of liked him, but I have seen that he complains a lot. Like he really complains a lot behind the wheel, and he gets mad. See, I don't mind a guy who gets mad or complains, but why are you complaining? And I don't know if there's another driver that I've seen where I'm constantly questioning what is he mad about? And like I said today in the broadcast, you could hear Jeff Burton and these other guys, they were like, what is he mad about? And he's giving, Chastain the middle finger, and he's like, look, I know, what is he like? They were basically saying he had no reason to be mad, and he didn't. So that's my thing with him. And I've seen him do this all year. Like he gets mad at people, whatever. If he does, if he really learns how to tone it back and see the big picture, like to me today, he lost sight of the big picture. Yes, at the end he pulled it out. He had the best car. He was able to do it, and I honestly thought Larson was going to be able to hold him off, and he did pull it out. But he's lucky they were on fresh tires because he drove those tires off with the previous run and the boneheaded shit he was doing with Chastain. So that's that. Uh, Arlacani says that was a real battle. Congrats to Blaney. I thought this was the best championship race at Phoenix we've had. Except the beginning was pretty slow. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, the beginning was average. I don't think it was as bad as people made it out to be, but it got better and better and better. And that's the type of race you're going to have at Phoenix because Phoenix is hard to pass and it's the smallest improvements in handling that are going to make a difference. So, if you're not a short attention span viewer, I really do think you could appreciate this type of racing. Hot Dog says 9.5 out of 10. I don't like giving races tens. Wow, that's a high rating. Um, if all you saw was the last quarter of the race, I would give it a fucking 10 out of 10. Like it was really fucking action packed and good. But I've always said you can't judge a race only on the finish or even a section of it, right? So we do have to look at the whole thing. Um, the race honestly might be an 8 out of 10. I know I said seven in the beginning, but it really ended up 7.5 out of 10. I really wouldn't have an issue even pushing it to 8 out of 10. It doesn't really fucking matter. I don't want to get lost in the weeds of arguing about a fucking rating, but I thought the race was much better than I thought coming in. I don't know how anyone could come in before the race and then after the race and not say to themselves, this was much better than I thought. I really don't. The one kid says, we did it. Woo. Okay, so I guess you are a Ryan Blaney fan. Congrats. Jonathan Johnson, welcome. He says, Kevin looked really good. I think the issue with Stewart Hot Racing Speed spoiled it, but I'm still proud of Kevin Harvick. Extremely grateful to be a Kevin Harvick fan and will forever be a Kevin Harvick. Uh, yeah, listen, he he had a good run today, and he has like 21 in a row top tens. I don't know if it's at Phoenix or where, but in either case, he leaves. He should have his head held high. Um, yeah, he had a good solid run. It's tough, man. This is a tough sport. So yeah, congrats to him. Project 94, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially lost the legitimacy of championships in the highest level of American motorsports. The gimmicks. How can a guy with 3 wins lose to a guy with six? I don't know what that means. NASCAR is in trouble. Um, like I said, there's a lot to fix with the playoffs, but I don't. I mean, I don't see like either one of these four guys could have won today, and I would be okay with it. they all had really good seasons. I don't know. Like, what if all you're gonna value is win total wins? I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know. Uh, definitely needs to. There's a lot to fix with the playoffs, but it really ended up pretty good to me. Like, just for what it is. Let's see. Mark Forget, 21 top tens in a row at Phoenix. Okay, so at Phoenix, holy shit. So his whole, pretty much his whole fucking career. I know he's always been good there. So yeah, that's a pretty fucking big deal. Austin says, same Jonathan Harvick is the reason why I became a NASCAR fan. I miss him a ton. I think he's gonna be. I was never a Harvick fan, but I will say he's good in the booth, and I like him in the booth. I really like him in the booth. I really hope they pair him up with Jamie McMurray and Larry McReynolds. They got to get rid of this other fucking guy. I'm terrible when I'm on the spot to remember a fucking name. Um, but I want those three in the booth. I think Harvick's going to be great in the booth. So he's not going away like totally. Let's see. Ford won the 2023 championship in trucks, Xfinity, and car. Oh shit! You know what? I didn't even fucking realize that. Like it just that went over my head. Not bad. Not bad for Ford. Uh, let's see. That one kid says just better, stupid. Ford sweeps the weekend. I don't know what just better, stupid means. You're gonna have to explain that. Hot dog says great race, kind of Mickey Mouse champ. Uh, yeah, I don't know what Mickey Mouse means, but I don't know. Like I don't have a problem with it. Austin, it still doesn't take away the fact that the playoff system needs a massive overhaul. Agreed. That's what I'm telling people. Don't misinterpret that I support what we're watching right now 100%. Uh, I've already told you guys a million times. I would take the last four races together and have that be a points championship. Um, just whittling it down to one race. I don't think it's the best. Obviously, not the best. Um, so yeah, the problem is NASCAR just seems too satisfied with the way things are. They like gimmicks and drama, and even if it's manufactured, I don't. They really live in a bubble. Arlacani says, I'm glad the brakes failure didn't happen to Blaney while leading instead of Bell, who was last in championship four, but it was early. Sucks either way. Yeah, I don't want to see anybody go down because of equipment failure. It would have been nice to see all four just there, alive. But it happens. That's part of racing. Hot Dog says, great race overshadowed that today. Okay. Jonathan says, I'll miss seeing Harvick in the NASCAR. Be hard to see his car on the track next year, but it won't be him driving the four car. It'll be Barry next year. Uh, hey man, it's part of sports. You got to move on. I wasn't happy when McMurray retired, but there's a lot that at some point you got to move on. Juice Tan, I'm shocked that Blaney pulled that off, but good for him. Yeah, like he fucking man, he just kept doing things that almost throwing the championship away. And like I said before, I'm used to watching them falter at the end. He didn't, and his car was just too good. He was too good today, and he deserves it. One kid says, "Right, I thought Larson was gonna whoop ass." Uh, Larson, I mean, look, he actually was in it, and he ran well. It's down to, this. Uh, he was good, not good enough. Same thing with Byron. Led early, had a good car, but they just, you know, uh, the Penske was better today. It's just the way it is. Uh, Juice Tan says, I do think NASCAR needs to return to Homestead for the championship, but that's my opinion. I would love it, but see, where you run for the last race wouldn't even be a fucking big deal if it wasn't like one race for a championship. And that's the big issue. My issue is more make it combine the last four races. Then it doesn't matter. If you want to keep it at Phoenix or wherever, I wouldn't care. But because it does come down to one race, I would much prefer Homestead, but it is what it is. Austin says happy for Blaney, though Guy drove his ass off. Yeah, he did. He drove hard. He really went for it. I just feel like he just really lost sight of the big picture. And I don't know what he was so mad about Chastain. It's just like, it's not the first time I've seen Blaney get super upset because what? A guy's just racing you hard. You can't expect a guy to just move out of the way and just let you pass. Like, what the fuck? As long as it's clean, I don't get it. Hunter, hi. Hi to you as well. Douglas says the race was really boring. I give it a 2 out of 10. Not surprised to see Douglas Lintz come with a wacky opinion. It's his opinion. Sorry you didn't like it. Mark Forget, win top 5, top 10. I don't know what you mean. Austin says I give it a 6.5 out of just average. I got no issue with that. I just, I, you know, I just think people who say it was terrible, they're out of their minds. Like, if you want to say it was pretty average, I could live with that. That's fair. Um, I really, I really think it's just people are conditioned, low attention span. They just want to see 4 and 5 wide in every corner and just a wreck fest for the most part. Not everyone. Let's see. Juice Tan says, glad the season's over, though it was a season to forget for me because I'm a Bowman fan. Yeah, listen, I get it. I'm used to watching the drivers I root for struggle, so I know how you feel, but you got to find a way to enjoy the sport for what it is. Even when your rooting interest is not succeeding. Um, Otherwise, it's gonna be a miserable time. The one kid says there's been drivers that beat the championship for, right? If I remember that right. Um, Maybe. I think so. I think it has happened, but usually it's one of them who wins. Uh, I kind of like that chat. Someone else won, and in either case, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, usually it's one of the championship. The champion usually is the winner. But I think it happened before. I don't remember who. Project 94. That's where Byron was better than Blaney. I believe just better stats. Oh, okay. I got you. What you mean? Look, a, it is what it is, man. If you could sit here all day and make a case for other guys besides Blaney, like Truex coming into the playoffs, probably had the best season. And everyone was like, oh my, and look how far he got in the playoffs, not because he ran well, because of his regular season. So honestly, I can't say there was anything unfair. They gave him a lot of credit for his regular season, and that kept him alive. He was one of the worst drivers in the entire uh, playoffs. He just fell apart. Like, he was the opposite of Blaney. Like Blaney really came alive in the playoffs, whereas Truex completely shit the bed. Byron was the most consistent driver from the beginning of the year all the way to this race. So kudos to him. He's been solid the entire year. He had a better year because of the playoffs, better than Truex. So if you're just looking at stats, yeah, okay, he had the best year, but at the end of the day, um, it is the best teams don't always win championships. Like it is what it is, man. If you're a Byron fan, I get the frustration, but um, yeah, I don't know what to say. Viper says pretty good racing today. A lot of battles for the lead. Was hoping Byron pull it off, but still great drive for Blaney at the end. It was good to see Harvick lead a race one more time. Yeah, man. Look, we had a little bit of everything today. Um, Douglas Lintz Jr. says the truck race was the best race of the weekend. And then Hot Dog says, "Damn, you trying hard, just trying to troll." Listen, man. I told you guys a long time ago. I had a fucking suspicion this guy's a troll. Um, so whatever. Uh, but the key to trolling, you can't go too far. You got to know when to keep things somewhat believable. There's a point where you just kind of let the cat out of the bag, and now we know, okay, this guy's just a troll. Nobody could be this idiotic. So there you go. Congrats. Let's see. RDS Rendezin Bennett. Welcome. Hello to you. Thanks for joining. Justin, well, shoot, I guess that means Penske went back Logano last year and Blaney this year. Yeah, Penske, he's had three different guys. You had Keselowski back in the day. You had Logano a couple times, and now you got Blaney. Penske's done pretty well for himself, and he doesn't need four cars, right? I really uh I don't think anyone should have more than three cars for an organization. That's just me. RDS says, "Let's go, Blaney. Let's go." Blaney fans are through the roof today, rightfully so. Austin says, "I'm glad I didn't get emotional today." Viper says, I would say I enjoyed today's race more than last year's. The Xfinity race wasn't too bad either, especially at the end. Yeah, look, man, other than that shit show truck race, the racing was better than I anticipated. And I think a lot of people probably were expecting a much worse race. Today's race was surprisingly decent. Um, I, 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 I think if you're NASCAR, you really couldn't ask for more today at Phoenix. Turned out pretty good, I think. Mark Forget says, I don't think it's a good look for a 44-year-old to pick a fight with a 24-year-old. Talking about Harvick, look, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is, if you have a problem with somebody on the track, I prefer to handle it directly. When you're out there using your car as a fucking weapon, that's not good. You are not just going after one guy, you're affecting other people on the track. You're affecting the outcome of a race, and you might get other people collected in your bullshit. So, there has to be a way to address an issue you have with another driver. I've always said I prefer be a fucking man and look, yeah, there's a big age difference. But if you're talking about a 24-year-old, as young as he is, he's a man. And if you're going to go out there and ruin somebody's race cuz your butt hurt over a racing incident, cuz I remember Harvick didn't really do anything that egregious. It was a racing deal at Bristol, and this guy stayed out for one reason only, and he was letting cars lap him just so he Harvick could catch him and he could block. And he blocked and he blocked and he blocked. And NASCAR never did anything about it. And then Harvick didn't do anything about it. Harvick, historically, let's be real, is one of the drivers that always tried to act like a tough guy. But as I've always told you guys, I've never seen him throw a punch. I've never seen him do anything. And what I'm saying is, I'm not telling you that it would be the most mature thing to do or that it would even be a good look. But if you want to send a message to one of these guys, I don't care how young they are, he's 24. He's 24. He's a man. Do something. Trying to wreck him at the Roval and then wrecking yourself looking like an idiot, that's not a good look. So he should have fucking handled it. And if you could have bitch slapped him, something. So if you're not willing to do something outside of the car, don't fucking say anything. I don't want to see these guys wrecking people with their race car. That's not good for the sport. Those are my thoughts. RDS says, I got what you were saying in the truck video. These drivers need a major look in the mirror. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no enforcers in the garage. If you really have an issue with a guy, and believe me, if I was Harvick, you just fucking he had the best car at Bristol. He could have won and should have won that race. And then you got this the golden boy. NASCAR's not fucking black doing shit to him. And he's out there lap after lap blocking a fucking guy racing for a win. And I don't remember, don't mark my words. I don't know if Larson ended up winning that race or somebody, but Harvick could have won that race. And you didn't do anything. I'm telling you now, you do that to me, I'm not a tough guy. And maybe I'll get my fucking ass kicked. But I'm not going to let it fly. Believe me, you're going to fucking know that I'm not happy with you. And if you and you're going to remember that if I mess with this guy on the track, he's going to be waiting for me after the race. And Harvick historically has gone chest to chest with a lot of drivers. But he's never done anything. And that's why I say these guys are all bark, no bite. Not all the time. Chastain fucking punched the shit out of Gregson. Gregson tried to be a tough guy, tried to bully him, and he got fucking punched. Haven't seen anything since then. I think Noah Gregson is going to think twice before he ever approaches Ross Chastain again. Years ago, Casey Mears walked up to Marcus Ambrose talking that talk, and he got fucking punched and punched fucking hard. He never happened again. I'd rather see that than shenanigans on the racetrack with a couple of guys trying to wreck each other, getting other people caught up in their bullshit. How would you like to be leading a race with 2-3 laps to go and these two other fucking idiots trying to wreck each other for some other incident, bringing out a caution and taking away a win from you? How would you like that? That is altering the course of a race. I don't want to see that. And too many of these idiots in the truck series, in ARCA, they come up the ranks seeing that there's no price to pay, everyone else is doing it, and they spend all their time on iRacing. So this is the mentality. Who is there in the garage that's going to police this shit? Where are the veterans? Where are the enforcers? And by the way, another guy I never liked, I'm glad he spoke up as well, Tony Stewart. He had a lot to say, and and kudos to him. We need to see more people speak up about this and shame these guys. That you can't just come here and do this shit. This is Bush League. Okay. Let's see. Viper says Allgaier was closing in on Nemechek and Custer, then got a caution, leading to a three wide moment near the end between those three. Uh, yeah, it was pretty exciting. Jonathan says Kevin Harvick didn't do anything to Elliott at Bristol. Elliott was the one who drove Kevin's right side and made Kevin lose his handling because of the cut. Yeah, I remember I said to myself, it was racing between two guys, regardless of who it was. And then he's so mad, and he spent the rest of the race trying to fucking just ruin somebody else's race. Nobody did anything. NASCAR didn't do anything about it. His owner didn't say anything, didn't do anything to the Golden Boy. So who I'm expecting Kevin Harvick to do something about it, and he didn't. He goes to the Roval and then he tries to wreck him, and he ends up wrecking himself and looking dumb. I remember that. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see, Austin. Thank you. I don't know why people enjoy a wreckfest. Jonathan says, but the Elliott fans don't ever see anything wrong with what Elliott does. It's not just Elliott. You could say this about every driver. The fan base is never going to call out their own fucking. They're only going to look at, through their eyes. If I'm a Ryan Blaney fan today, I'm first of all, I'm ecstatic. He drove a hell of a race, but man, I was mad, and I'm not a Ryan Blaney fan, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are you doing? Getting so mad at Chastain, who did nothing wrong. Then he tried to fucking take him out. It's insane. If I was a Ryan Blaney fan, I would have fucking pulled all my hair out, whatever I got left. Let's see. Project 94, except me. I don't know what that means. Austin says, yeah, nothing wrong with a decent average race. It can't be perfect every time. Man, let me tell you, uh, I didn't have a problem with today's race. It was good. It was drama. Even the boneheaded shit that Blaney did, I'm criticizing it just from the point of view of a guy that is doing something stupid and throwing away his opportunity, right? But as a fan, just watching on TV, it was exciting as hell. I can't deny that. So on one hand, I have to admit, yeah, that made a lot of drama. His stupidity made drama. But if I'm the owner, I'm screaming at him on the radio. What the fuck are you doing? Stop. You're destroying your fucking tires. If this thing goes green to the end, you're toast. So, and you saw Truex come and pass, like after he was doing all that. So anyway, it worked out in the end. He's lucky he had the best car because I thought Larson was going to be able to hold him off. Jonathan Johnson, the race wasn't bad. Absolutely not. 1200 HP, welcome. Ford stepped up their game this year. They sure did. We heard a lot of shit about Ford. But yeah, they showed up. They made some, and not just fucking Penske, um, Roush, Fenway, Keselowski, RFK Racing. They were strong all year too. I mean, Stuart Haas has struggled. I still, like I said, I really don't think they should have four cars. They should sell one of their charters and then they can focus more on the other three cars. And I think they can improve. They're trying to, running a four car organization is a fucking yeoman's task. Um, I think it's a mistake. Jonathan said it was good. I'm just not a fan of how strong the dirty air was. Yeah, listen, it's Phoenix, and listen, it's dirty air is part of it. But when you see how hard it was to pass, and when you did see people passing, it was good. It was good. Like, um, I don't know. I enjoyed it. SW fan, Blaney didn't deserve the championship at all. He was only great for 5 races. Byron and Bell were the most deserving. Um, well, sorry. Arlecani, Blaney was even flipping off Chastain when he couldn't get the lead and bumping him too. I was shocked. I thought Blaney was a calm racer. Well, this is what I'm saying. I've been watching him a lot, especially this year. He's always mad at someone for something. And when you go back, I would say 8 times out of 10, nobody did anything wrong. Some of these guys just expect everyone to just get out of their way. Jonathan says, I know Ford won the championship in all 3 series. Yep. Project 94, do you think Blaney has bipolar? I don't know about bipolar, uh, but I don't know. I just think some people are so competitive they lose focus, or they just can't handle certain situations. Um, I'm telling you, if he would have thrown away this championship, it would have been to me maybe the biggest bonehead move ever. Like, he had the fastest car, and he had a 4-second gap on Larson and Byron. He should have conserved his tires. There were so many laps left. He is so lucky that a caution did come out. The caution actually helped him because then they all got back on fresh tires, and he can race 100%. And he was able to pass Larson. Well, Larson was doing a good job holding him off. Man, this really could have turned out bad for him. Let's see. SW fan, Chastain drove his best race of his career today. I agree. He didn't drive over his head. He took what the car gave him. They made it better, and he drove a smart race. I not once did I see. Now we can't see every fucking lap, but I never saw him do something dirty to anybody. Um, and I said this before. When people started talking about, oh look, he's not as good because his owner told him to dial it down. I fucking told people, if you can't fucking win without doing dirty bullshit, then you're not that great. You should be able to win clean. And if you got a good car, you can. And he proved it. And he just proved it. So kudos to him. Let's see. Hot Dog says project. I know his buddy Wallace may I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I'm sure Wallace is happy. That's his best friend. Mark Forget, Ryan was expecting Ross to be Mark Martin. You can't expect that from anybody these days. But you know something? Mark Martin was known as a very respectful, clean driver. But in that situation at Phoenix, you're not. I don't see any driver. Like, Chastain drove, he did what he was supposed to do. And it was clean. So Mark Martin would have done the same thing. Let's see. Jonathan says, I think it's a pride thing where championship drivers won the final race. I think that's why. Yeah, but you know what? You gotta see the big picture. Um, I don't know. I appreciate that he wants to win and he drove really good and hard. And I think if he didn't drive the tires off the car and it stayed green and he just kept staying close to him, I think he might have passed him eventually. There were plenty of laps left. It wasn't like down to 10 laps and then he's trying to fucking ram his way over him. It was dumb. It was dumb. Viper, a lot of people were mad at Chastain and wanted him to pull over and let Blaney by, but then again, every team's goal is to win. Man, if you're upset that he didn't just pull over, what the, I don't know. It's insane to me what people are. It's not supposed to be easy, and I don't have a problem. Like as long as he didn't do something dirty, I'm good with it. SW fan, the first time I can remember that all three champions this weekend were frankly undeserving. Okay. Hot dog, 2018 was bad, minus Muffet to an extent. Jonathan says, I think Ross Chastain did a good job. I don't know why didn't Blaney's team tell him to settle down. You don't have to win the race. Take your time and run your own race. I agree. But not only didn't they say it, they actually told him, go get him. They actually told him, go get him at one point. So, do you really need to tell him to go get him? You think he's not already trying? All you're doing is getting him amped up. If you know your driver is easily flustered, and now we should know Blaney, he gets really fucking upset behind the wheel. Don't don't you fucking know that as a spotter, as a crew chief? You should be doing the opposite. You should be telling him, look, settle down. You got a good gap on these guys. You have a championship in your lap. Don't conserve your tires. There's plenty of laps left. That's what I would be telling him. 1 second, guys. No, engineer. No, yes. Oh. Aquí, full board. Mm, ya tiene una novela. Y ya te llamó. Ay, pa. Es lo mismo, es lo mismo, es lo mismo. Eso es lo que es más. Sí, sí, para la misma mierda. Yo le dije ya 2 veces que no. Y a mí me falta. Yo no tengo paciencia. Repitiendo lo mismo, lo mismo. Yo le dije, yo trabajo, yo no tengo tiempo, yo estoy bien, no puedo. Oh, ok, yo te llamo en 2 meses. Después a la misma semana llamo. Oh, mm, mm. Yo lo iba a llamar, pero yo no sé para eso. Porque sí, tú no chequeaste si la saca que tengo. Oh, ok. No, no, pa. Mm, ok. Ah, ok, yo te llamo ahorita. Ay, ¿qué quieres? Sorry, guys. Phone call. Where were we? Let's see. RDS, his spotter told him to be smart at the end, but he needs to be told that sooner or at the start of the race. That's my point, guys. You have to know the psychology of your fucking driver. You got to play psychiatrist. You don't fucking All they did was pour fuel on the fire. They know this guy's always upset over every little thing, and he's already agitated behind the wheel. You got to fucking calm him down and remind him of the big picture. And yeah, I guess if they told him, it was towards the end. They needed to be telling him that when he was doing this shit, you know? That's my point. SW fan says, the first time I can remember that all three champions this weekend were frankly undeserved. Oh, God. Oh, I'm rereading the same shit. I always do that. All right, hold on a second. Mark Verger, probably the best Phoenix race in a long time. It is the best Phoenix race I can remember. Like, I don't know if I can remember a better Phoenix race. Hot Dog says, I overrated the race based off low expectations. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I still, I had low expectations. It surprised me, and I did think the later part of the race was it got better and better and better. But overall, I could live with an 8 out of 10. I know I said 7.5 before, but a lot of drama, a lot of good things happened. It's just very entertaining. Bobby Birch says hello, welcome. Jonathan, the best thing about this race, it only had two yellows for cars. That is most definitely better than the trucks on Friday. I agree. We saw some green. We did see green flag at one point. That was good. Um, I would have preferred no stage cautions, but I don't think NASCAR is ever gonna. They don't want. They brought this shit back for the road courses. Bobby says Ryan Blaney was using up his tires before that. Yep. That yellow saved him. Viper Ford trifecta this weekend. Guess they got lucky. I wouldn't call it luck. They were good. They ran good. Austin, I like Blaney, but he could have just cruised along. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do. But like I said, I will admit his stupidity added to the drama and it made it exciting. It added to, threw a little more excitement into the race. So like if I was a Blaney fan, hardcore, I'd be fucking livid. I would have fucking pulled my hair out. Andrew Rye, welcome. My heart feels for Byron, but credit where credit is due. Ryan Blaney earned it. Very happy for him. I agree. Viper, I didn't see Chastain winning today, but he earned it. Fourth career. I agree. He earned it. He ran well and he ran clean. Tom Freeman, welcome. Yep. Late to the party once again. Better late than never. Good race today. Good old fashioned hard racing. Thank you. You know, you must be over the age of fucking 20. Jonathan says, my favorite cars, honestly, I like the 2012 cars. It was simple. Every car is equal with the body. I love the Xfinity cars. It's the 2012 Cup cars, but the front bumper being different. Tom Freeman. Blaney was a bit whiny bitch today. He's pretty whiny driver. This is not new. It's not a one race thing. I'm telling you, I've been noticing more and more about that. He's a fucking whiny complainer. It turns me off. Um, it's just, yeah. Arlacani. There are so many people on one championship. It takes a lot more to win than one. I still stick by the clear best racer in NASCAR will increase interest even if hardcore fans don't like it. Austin, I laughed my ass off at the middle finger. Jonathan, now I don't like how the 2012 cars were not equal on the left side with the right side, but the car was upper hand that the new car has. Man, I do not want to see cars where the left side and the right side are not the same. I don't want to see that. That's not a race. That's not a stock car. You want to see wacky shit? Go watch sprint cars with the massive giant wing on the. You know, I want these cars to look like stock cars. Die Hard welcome. Least amount of 2 5s since 1950. This format sucks ass like usual. Project 94, I messed up. A guy with six losing to a guy with three. Sorry. Okay. Die Hard. All the Final Four champs were the worst of the Final Four. Anyone but Blaney had a trash year. What? All four of the guys that were running for a championship today all had great years. I don't know what people are seeing. These were like four of the best guys. Truex had a great regular season, but he shit all over himself in the playoffs. Um, Hamlin, he was there till late, but he just fucked up. I don't know who you expect to see at the end. You had the four of the best. I don't know. I disagree. Austin, seeing Kevin get emotional like that was wild. Yeah. Hey, listen, man, it's your fuck. You'd be surprised when you know something is over. You gotta be human. Like it's. I mean, you gotta be not human not to feel something. Like I'm retiring in 3 years, just about. I've been doing this for 35 plus years. Um, I, for me to feel like I'm just gonna retire and go home and never come back to work, I know I'm gonna be emotional. It's the end of something, and you're looking at a whole new life coming. Um, so yeah, it's understandable for sure. Project says, and I forgot to point out the consistency differences, top fives, top tens. R. Lacani, I became a Harvick fan because I won my first championship NASCAR to Thunder 2002 years back by beating him for the championship. Gave me somebody to root for when I was new to the sport. Austin says Kevin Harvick, Jamie Mack, and Larry in the booth. Absolutely. Those are the three I want. Those are the three I want. Everyone else in the booth now needs to go. And I know everybody loves what's his name, but he's been around forever. It's time to go. Project says Mickey Mouse means sort of undeserving. Making a whole new bunch typing mistakes today, forgetting details. I'm not on my game today. Jonathan says, unfortunately, NASCAR seems to favor the one track race to decide a champion. You would much rather have the last three or four to award a champion based on points, positions, no stage points. I agree. Look, who knows what NASCAR is going to do? They change so much year after year. Maybe they wake up in the sometime in the future and say maybe we should try this. Maybe there's too many people complaining. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, NASCAR's got their heads up their asses. Jonathan says, I understand Kevin isn't going to do this forever, but I'm excited to hear him in the booth. Pretty sure Clint Boyer is returning to the booth. Yeah, I do not like Clint Boyer at all. Maybe they could just put him in the fucking pits like fucking Michael Waltrip. He sucks too. Jonathan says, I think Charlotte Motor Speedway should hold a championship race since it's home of NASCAR. Who knows? Maybe in the future. Great racetrack, and it really puts on a good show with this car for sure. Uh, I'd love to see that. I'm excited to see how the new Fords will do for Toyota. Could be a super and cup. Yeah, man. Hunter, what is your thoughts on this season? I really enjoyed the season. I actually enjoyed the season. I thought that, yeah, we had a couple stinkers along the way. There's a lot of things we all want to change, but there's a lot of great races this year. I enjoyed for the most part. I thought it was a good season. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Die Hard says all the drivers this year were the worst champs in the Final Four. Jonathan Penske helps the Wood Brothers 21. I think they build a 21 car as well. Yeah, I know they're like a satellite team. Whatever. I think it's a lot, man. When you got four cars in your stable, I wouldn't do it. Diehard Carson is a clown. I agree. I don't like him at all. Let's see. Diehard says Rhodes, Custer, Blaney, all the worst Final Four champs. Uh, okay. Jonathan says, I think it's funny the Elliott fans think Kevin is dirty, but you look at the year before at Bristol between Kevin and Kyle Busch. That was a good, clean battle. By the way, uh, man, Chase Elliott, he really went down the toilet this year. I'm sure he's going to run much better next year, but man, I'm actually surprised. That guy is nowhere to be seen. Diehard Noah has been in a couple of fights before that. Yes, I know. Uh, Mark Forget, Jimmy Spencer didn't gain any respect from Kurt Busch after decking him. Today's drivers are worse than Kurt Busch ever was. There's no hope for self-policing. NASCAR needs to step in at some point. I agree. NASCAR, the first people that need to do something is NASCAR. You know, it's insane that they're watching certain things happen and they're not doing anything. I think they think that this is, driving ratings up. I don't think they know what they're doing. Diehard says, do you agree John Hunter Nemechek choke last night? I don't know if choke is the right word. There's a lot of things that go into winning races, and if you don't have the setup, if you don't have this, that, I didn't watch the whole race. I don't know. Choking, I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Austin says Roger kept trying to reel him in, but he wasn't having it. Diehard, all three were the least deserving champs. Okay, man. You guys made your point. He's just repeating the same thing at this point. Austin, I agree, but I want to see Ross continue to evolve for the right reasons. Maybe he'll earn some of my respect again. Look, that's not going to happen overnight. I really need to see a lot more. But maybe this shows him, like, you don't have to fucking do dirty shit. Like, you can race clean, win. You will gain more fans that way for sure. All right, guys. I'm coming to the end of the live stream, so if you got something to say, this is the time. Tanner says it's sentimental seeing a season and end every year, but I definitely don't feel empty. We had a lot of good races this year, lots of pure racing from Auto Club to Charlotte to Phoenix. I agree. We did get to see a lot of old school racing, not every week, but when we saw it, it was good. Even Richmond, which hasn't been good in a while, we saw some good racing at Richmond this year. Um, and like I said, long green flag runs, uh, to me, it's the way to go. Oh, get ready, buckle in. Douglas Lynch Jr. has something to say. These drivers are paid to win, cannot pay to finish second. I think you're all for panty waste for coming panty waste. Okay. I think Douglas is off his Dougie's off his meds again. Yeah, they're paid to win. They're also paid to win championships. And when you try to wreck the leader and then Martin Truex comes and passes you and your tires are gone, that's a boneheaded thing to do. So not only are you not going to win the race, but you're not going to win a championship either. Um, if that's the way you think, then you're an idiot. You are an idiot. And you're the same guy that told everyone EA was going to make the next game. And you just knew EA was going to. I didn't know what I was talking about when I told you EA's not making the next NASCAR game. and you kept insisting. You're wrong about everything you say in post. Your record is perfect, perfectly wrong on everything. You're all for coming panty waste. I don't know what you mean by that. You got to translate that. Die Hard. I miss he pissed it away. Blaney didn't do shit this year. Daniel Shell, welcome. Sub Disco, congrats to Blaney. Sucks that Byron couldn't come through today, but still great year for the 24. I agree. Hot dog. Clint Boyer is obnoxious and Mike Joy is washed. Yeah, get rid of Mike Joy and Boyer. Those two guys, they could go. Hot dog, you better listen up, you keyboard warriors. Viper, Boyer is trash and I can't take him seriously. Agreed. Hot dog, Boyer talks over everyone like he knows better than everyone. Agreed. Viper also says Bowman's performance is in the toilet too, along with Chase. I agree. Uh, Hot dog, you want to see choking? Look at Denny Hamlin and his team at the end of 2010. Yeah. Andrew, uh, you can't ask for a better ending to NASCAR 75th inning, scene four of the sport. Young Bloods race it out for the title and did it with respect. Uh, Blaney he was this close to really throwing that respect out the window, but he did pull it out. Um, so I agree. Fitting end to a good year. Jonathan says, I don't know what happened to Elliott. I question if NASCAR and Hendrick rushed Elliott through his recovery and therapy, which is a mistake. Um, yeah, I understand the fan attendance was low. I nearly lost hope for NASCAR this morning. I heard about NASCAR EV, electric vehicle, and I was thinking, oh God, this can't be happening. But luckily, it's just for promotions. Nothing's going to change. Look, I don't know what to say. If they want to do a series dedicated to electric cars, bring it. I'm just curious to see what the fuck they would do. Um, Also, you know, things don't stay the same forever. If you got it, you're gonna have to. There's gonna come a time. I think people are gonna have a rude awakening. Times are gonna change. I'd like to see an electric vehicle series just to see what it would be like. Can we at least see it? I'm not pushing for it or saying, hey, get rid of everything and bring it. I'm just saying I don't see an issue with them looking to the future. They would be dumb not to. And every car manufacturer is working on electric cars. So that's the reality, guys. Don't shoot the messenger. Daniel says, can't wait for the anti playoff system videos to pop up. Oh, yeah, everybody's going to do it. Um, like I said, I have a lot of criticisms about the playoffs, things I would change. But do I want to go back to no playoffs at all? Back to the old Winston point system? No, I do not. I'm sure Elliott will improve next year. Yeah, for sure. He's going to show up. He'll be a contender for sure. Uh, I like Mike Joy for his knowledge. That's what stands out to me, not just NASCAR, but other motorsports. Yeah, he has a lot of knowledge and all that, but his work in the booth and his I don't know, man, trying to fucking defend Fox Sports, I don't know. He's rubbed me the wrong way, and I just think it's time for him to go. Uh, Project 94 says, should I make a game engine debate video? Yeah, man, bring it. Bring it, man. I wouldn't mind checking that out. Andrew Rice says, I wish Byron won. But it doesn't matter how good your year is. It's about shining when it matters the most. I love surprises. He would have had a better shot. Like I said, if you had four of the last four races combined, right? And then look at Christopher Bell. He had brake issues. Um, that's what bringing it down to one race. It's not good, but yeah, you do have to be right at the right time. Truex shit all over himself in the playoffs. He had the biggest collapse of anybody I've ever seen in the playoffs. From where he was running to where he finished. Let's see. Hot Dog says electric series will replace the trucks one day. Yeah, if we're being realistic, somewhere down the line, you're gonna see electric car racing. Um, if I was NASCAR, I would do a series, maybe ARCA, maybe change ARCA into an electric series as an experiment. Let's see how that works. Let's see what till you see something, you shouldn't make an assumption and see what it turns out to be. Um, Jonathan, I don't mind a separate series for electric vehicles. NASCAR did say they're going to visit Japan, look at possibly bring hydrogen cars to NASCAR. Interesting to me, something I don't mind. Look, the bottom line is you can only drag your feet so much. Life changes. I'm sorry. I mean, I know people want things to stay the same forever. That's not how life works. Eventually, and every car manufacturer, they drag their feet for years. And now they know. They are all working on electric vehicles. They know they have to stay alive. That's the future. I don't know what to tell you. Douglas Lintz. Uh-oh, buckle up, guys. At this point, I don't give a crap who makes the game. There's more important things in my life than worrying about video games or who's making them. Hey, man, you're the one that was screaming about you knew EA was going to make the game. Just pointing out that, relax, man. Take your meds. I don't want it. I don't want anything serious to happen. Andrew Rice says Eric Estep said this, the same thing on what the Final Four race idea. Yeah, listen, it's just nobody likes this one race final. Too many things can happen, and the fact is, every racetrack is different. So some racetracks are gonna favor certain teams more than others. Um, I just feel like if you take four, you got plenty of opportunity to win and build, right? And you can have a bad race and still be in it. And who knows if people keep complaining, maybe at some point NASCAR wakes up and says, okay, let's make a few changes. Like I told you guys, NASCAR makes so many fucking changes every year. You never know. They might just decide to do something positive for a change and make a good change. You never know. All we could do is keep beating the drum. Jonathan says, let's see. Think it's a great idea to talk about game engines because some people don't understand that the engine doesn't make the game. It's a tool. Like you said, Disco, I agree. Um, look, man, I like technology. I like, you know, talking about things like game engines and stuff like that. Um, I definitely would love to see that. Um, yeah, NASCAR did say they are open for a fourth manufacturer. They listen, man. I want as many manufacturers as want to be a part of it. Bring it on. The more, the merrier, and I think it will spice things up. And the only thing is, these manufacturers really are dictating what NASCAR does. This is why you're not getting more horsepower. They a lot of this is because of these manufacturers. So it is what it is. Let's see. Arla County, what's your favorite season of the playoff era? 2014 present. Uh, if it's 2014, what is your second favorite? I really got to go back. I got a shitty memory, guys. I can't off the top of my head remember shit. I really do have a bad memory. So I really can't answer that right now. Daniel says, don't put it past NASCAR. They'll have the championship for at Daytona or Talladega in a heartbeat. Oh God, please don't say that. I think that would be catastrophic. That would be catastrophic if they did that. Jonathan says, I'm excited for the new Mustangs. Let's see if they'll show better performance everywhere, not just one type of track. Yep. Andrew says, reminder Disco iRacing is doing Kansas and Xfinity in Chicagoland. Oh boy, gonna finally make my first cup start. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be on this week. Oh my God, I gotta remember. I keep forgetting. I'm trying to find a league to join. If anybody knows a league that I can join, preferably cup, preferably in the middle of the week, um, please tell me. I need to join a league, man, and I'll live stream every race, and then you guys could follow my season. Jonathan says, imagine if Subaru and BMW joins NASCAR. That would be awesome. I think they both make great cars. Yeah, I agree. I don't care who joins. I just want to see more people involved. I'm a Dodge guy, so I wish they came back. Who knows? Maybe in the future. Let's see. Arlecani. At that point, they might as well make half the cars go clockwise and other counterclockwise. I agree. You might as well, or just put them on a figure 8 track. Jonathan said, I think why has iRacing haven't made the choose rule yet? I don't know, but you know something? If you had the choose rule, imagine these boneheads waiting to the last second, pretending they're going to take the top or the bottom and going to the other lane while someone else is trying. Like, you're going to get people wrecking under caution. I think that's why they haven't put the choose cone in yet. I'm not sure it would be a good idea. Daniel says Wallace, Logano, Keselowski, and now Blaney have all won titles for Roger Penske. Time to put respect. Oh yeah, Penske has a fucking long, rich history um, of championships, and yeah, Penske is no joke. Hot Dog says Rusty Wallace won his second title for Raymond Beadle. Yeah, I don't. He didn't win under Penske. Daniel Shell. Oh wait, my bad. Diehard says Gregson to have a rocket under him with Ford 10 for Stewart-Haas Racing. Well, we're gonna see. He's got an opportunity next year. Hot Dog says it's all cool. I think of him with Penske first anyway. Jonathan says, I don't know if Subaru would because they have V8 engines yet. They don't have V8, but BMW have V8. Yeah, I'd be shocked. Subaru. I don't. I just don't see them doing it. Guys, I appreciate you guys coming in today for the live stream. It's time for me to go. Jonathan, iRacing will add SRX cars and Slinger Speedway. Oh yeah, for sure. Uh, so yeah, I told you guys I wasn't gonna do race reviews this year. I really didn't want to commit, and I did it. So I'm surprised. I just kept doing it. I don't want to commit. I don't want people to think, okay, this is gonna be a constant thing. Um, but yeah, I did enjoy it. We'll see what happens. I'm really hoping to get some Grand Theft Auto news to talk about and more news about the development of the next NASCAR game. I'll keep an eye out for all that. And I'll keep you guys up to date on iRacing and what I'm, as I race. And if I could find a league to join, that would be great. Because then I'll fucking live stream it and I'll keep you guys updated on everything. Uh, so thanks for joining, guys. Uh, yeah, that was a pretty good race. Uh, I look forward to your comments anyway. Yeah, later, guys.